Hey, welcome to the channel. If you like stories where humanity refuses to kneel, subscribe and stay with us. Let's begin. The stars were wrong. Not misaligned. Wrong. Like someone had taken the galaxy's spine and snapped it over a knee. From the observation blister of the Vathul Ascendant, High Strategist Kresh watched the human colony ship, Prometheus found, tumble into the gas giant below. Its hull peeled open like burning paper. Escape pods, pathetic tin cans, flared and died in the atmosphere. Record the decimation, Kresh ordered, voice a silk blade. Catalog their screams. The archive will pay premium for primate terror. Subordinate Vathul clicked mandibles in amusement. They still use chemical rockets. Chemical. A ripple of crystalline laughter, like insects with firecrackers. Kresh's bioluminescent tendrils pulsed gold. Label them Homo fragilis, subsentient, suitable for labor pens or vivisection. The feed zoomed. A single pod had survived re-entry. It punched through cloud layers, trailing fire, and vanished into the storm. Kresh leaned closer. Track it. Planetfall, 37 hours later. Captain Elias Kane woke to the taste of copper and ozone. The pod had buried itself in a jungle of black glass trees. Outside, acid rain hissed against the hull. His left arm was gone below the elbow, cauterized by plasma shear. He stared at the stump, then at the child, strapped beside him. Anya, 8 years old, eyes too old for her face. "Still breathing?" he asked. She nodded. Didn't scream once. Kane unstrapped her. "Good. Screaming's a luxury. We're fresh out." The pod's emergency beacon blinked red. He crushed it under his boot. Outside, the jungle moved. Not wind. Hunting. Kane dragged a shard of hull metal, jagged, still hot, and carved a symbol into the pod wall. Chef Yanya watched. "What's it mean?" He didn't answer. Just handed her a flare. "Light when I say, run when I say, die only if you choose to." Vathul Hunter Squad. The leash, 6 elites. Crystalline exoskeletons, neural lances that could flay a mind in seconds. They found the pod, found the symbol, found the blood trail leading deeper. Lead hunter Scarveth touched the carving. Homo fragilis. Marks territory. A pause, like a dying animal pissing on a tree. They laughed, then followed. Night. Acid storm. Kane moved through the glass forest like a ghost, Anya on his back, arms around his neck. His remaining hand held a plasma cutter scavenged from the pod, jury-rigged to a dying battery. He stopped, listened. Click, click, click. Scarveth S. Squad. Closing. Kane knelt, pressed Anya's face into his shoulder. "Remember the rule," she whispered. "Pain is just the price of memory." He smiled. First time in days. Smart kid. The hunters burst through the trees. Lances ignited. Neural fire ready to burn minds to ash. Kane stood, unarmed, one-armed, bleeding. Scarveth raised a claw. "On your knees, primate." Kane spat blood. "Make me." The lance fired. Kane moved, not fast, but wrong. Like his body remembered trajectories the aliens hadn't calculated. He was inside the lance arc. Cutter ignited, sliced through Scarveth's wrist joint in a spray of violet ichor. The alien screamed, a sound like shattering bells. Kane grabbed the severed lance, reversed it, fired point blank into Scarveth's face. The hunter's head imploded. The squad froze. Not fear, confusion. Kane whispered to the darkness, "Run." Anya lit the flare, threw it into the fuel leak Kane had rigged hours earlier. The jungle detonated. Vathul command bridge. The feed cut to static, then returned, showing only fire. and a single human silhouette walking through it. Kresh's tendrils dimmed. Impossible. The atmospheric pressure alone. A new signal pinged. From the Prometheus Found's black box. Audio only. Kane's voice. Calm, dead. Tell your archive this. We're not your pets. We're the ones who taught wolves to fear fire. Static Kresh stared at the screen. For the first time in 3 centuries, the high strategist felt something cold crawl beneath its exoskeleton. It wasn't fear, not yet, but it was close. The galaxy laughed for 3 days. Humanity's last stand, a single man and a child on a death world. The Vathul Empire posted the footage galaxy-wide. Primate Delusion, Exhibit A. Kresh watched the views climb. Billions, trillions species across the spiral arm tuned in to watch the inevitable. Then the laughter stopped. Day 4. The jungle. Kane hadn't slept, hadn't eaten, had only moved. He'd built something from the hunters' corpses. Neural lances fused to glasswood. Crystalline armor melted into a jagged pauldron. Scarveth's mandible, now a dagger strapped to his thigh. Anya walked beside him, no longer carried. She held a lance too big for her, used it as a staff. They reached the leash's dropship. Intact. Kane hotwired it with a severed alien nerve cable. The engines coughed to life. Anya looked up. Where are we going? Kane's eyes were hollow. To the archive. The archive. Orbital station above Vathul Prime, a fortress of crystal and data. Home to every scream, every conquest, every species the Empire had broken. Kresh stood before the central core. A sphere of pure light. Inside, the sum of galactic suffering. The alarms began as whispers, then screams, human ship signatures. One ship. Broadcasting on every frequency, Kane's voice. Again. This is Captain Elias Kane. Humanity requests an audience. Kresh laughed, a sound like breaking glass. Open fire. The fleet obeyed. Railguns, plasma lances, singularity bombs, the dropship dodged. Not with grace, with violence. It flew like it was angry. Kane's voice returned. You catalogued our screams. Now listen to ours. Inside the dropship, Anya sat in the co-pilot seat, her hands steady on auxiliary controls. Kane's stump bled through the bandage, bandaged with alien silk. He didn't notice. On the screen, the archive, a crystal moon. Kane armed the payload. Not a bomb. A message. The black box of the Prometheus Found reprogrammed, loaded with every human death, every colony burned, every child's last breath, compressed into a single data spike. Anya asked, Will it hurt them? Kane's smile was terrible. It'll haunt them. The archive's core chamber Kresh watched the dropship breach the outer ring. Defenses failed. Shields collapsed. The ship wasn't fighting. It was ignoring physics. It crashed through the core's outer shell. Sparks. Screams. Silence. Then Kane walked out. Alone. Anya, safe in the pod, launched to the resistance. He carried the data spike like a torch. Kresh met him in the core, flanked by 100 elites. Kneel, Kresh commanded, or be unmade. Kane knelt, but not in submission. He planted the spike into the core's heart. Light exploded. Not fire. Memory. Every human death. Every scream. Every mother's last look at her child. Flooded the archive. The elites staggered. Neural links overloaded. Some clawed out their own eyes. Kresh screamed, a sound no Vathul had made in 10,000 years. Kane stood, walked forward. Through the light, through the pain, He stopped inches from Kresh. You wanted our screams, he whispered. Now live in them. He pressed a detonator. The core shattered. Across the galaxy screens flickered. Billions watched. Not the Empire's feed. The human one. Kane's final transmission. His face burned. Half gone. But his eyes. God, his eyes. He spoke to every species watching. We were your pets. Your experiments. Your joke. A pause. The galaxy held its breath. We're done being funny. The feed cut to black. Then a single line burned across every screen in the spiral arm. FYV Thule High Command. 12 hours later, Kresh sat alone. The archive gone. Half the fleet blind from neural feedback. The other half, whispering. About the human who walked through fire, who turned pain into a weapon, who made gods bleed. Kresh stared at its reflection in the cracked crystal table. For the first time it saw something new in its own eyes. Fear, and in the silence a sound, distant, growing. Human ships, not many, but enough. Kresh whispered to the dark, "What are you?" The answer came from the void, Kane's voice, one last time. We're the reason the galaxy will never sleep again. Everyone else saw weakness, humanity saw a reason to fight harder.